Hello again, and welcome everybody back to Milsurp, my Milsurp, that is. Today we're going to be taking a look at gun safety, and we're going to kind of go down the line of, most archaic, which would be these flintlocks here, and all the way up to this revolver. Because, believe it or not, the most direct line of muzzleloader is actually the beautiful revolver. So in here is a special one. I like this one. None of these on the table are Milsurp. However, you can probably find a Kentucky rifle that would have been Milsurp. I mean, that's what the militia used in the Revolutionary War. This, however, probably not Milsurp. This is a Rock Island M209, 206. I can't remember which one, but this is my Rock Island revolver. It's my little EDC revolver. Try to get her in there. There we go. It's nice tight. I got this holster from Cardini Defense. I really like them. I really like how well it locks in there. Won't come out except in a very specific direction, just like that. Has to be just like that, and it won't come out any other way. I can knock it out, try and push it out, won't come out. So I love that holster. But the other one here is a kind of a drop leg holster, like the old time one. It actually goes into a Buscadero belt. But this is my single action army. That also might be a Milsurp. This one isn't. It's a Pieta. So unfortunately, that's all I can afford right now. If I turn around, you might see a mess. There is a mess right there. We are in the process of moving out and also reeling from the baby shower we just had. So hopefully I don't turn around. I don't need to turn around. But we'll focus on this video for now and just get everything done. But basically, gun safety with a muzzle loader. Don't go to full cock and put a sleeve up on your pan and your frizzen. They make leather sleeves that go right over the frizzen there, so you don't have to worry. And then you can close it, not have to worry about anything banging against it. But you really don't have to worry about anything moving. I mean, this guy, it ain't going in the full. It's not going back. You get to go in a full cock first, then you can let it fly forward. You can see how beat up this flint is, though. It's got a freaking U shape to it. But yeah, I'm not pulling that trigger. Although if I did, the set trigger would make it really light. But we're gonna pull the trigger, the frizzen out of the way, because I don't want sparks all over my desk here. So I'll put it back to half cock. It's about as safe as it's gonna get, especially when it's empty. And oh, you know what? Honestly, let's talk about that. The best way to make sure that a muzzle loader is clear is to take the good old ramrod out. And the ramrod is usually the right size and everything. That if you drop her down, hold on, let's get her lined up so that I only have one hand. If you drop her down, it'll actually fall right to the bottom. So if it comes with the original, fall right to the bottom. And you can even measure it. We'll drop her out. Oop, catch it with my other finger. There we go. Pull that out of there. And if you look, you can measure it. Say, I'll show you before there we go. It's right there at the tip, just like that. Go down and measure it. It goes right to where the touch hole is. It's the best way to figure out if your muzzle loader is loaded or not. Is to measure the length of that barrel with the ramrod, and then see how far it goes down. You say, hey, it's sticking out a little bit, you're probably loaded. But the basic safety on those guys is don't mess with them if you don't know them. Well, honestly, that's the best safety for any gun. Don't mess with it if you don't know it. And if you don't know it, get a little bit of a idea on how to take care of it before you play with it, so to speak. So now we're going to open up this sack here. This is actually a saddle sack. I bought it because I thought it was really cool, especially for the gun that's inside. This is the first revolver we're going to look at. take a look at that revolver. Pull her out. She's not a milsim, mind you. This is my 1851 Navy. Now, I think you wonder why, I just went from flintlock, well, I don't have a flintlock pistol, to a revolver and percussion. Percussion revolver. So I don't want to really get a, percussion single shot, musket ball shooting. So I went with this. It does shoot the round ball. I have gotten a conical in there. It is a little difficult with the way that is set up, but you just kind of got to push her down into the chamber when it's out here. It goes right in, and then you can kind of guide it in using the ramrod. She goes right down. It's got plenty of space for it. Make that work. But we're gonna set the stand up. Take a good look at it. I use both hands. Dang phone will stay in the stand. There we go. Let's try that. There we go. We're gonna get both hands on this puppy. Take a good look. So there. 1851 Navy. I did take that set screw out of there because I don't need it. I want to be able to make sure that I can take that barrel apart real quick if I have to. It just takes a little knock that down. It's really friction fit, so I don't think that's ever coming out. See, that pin holds it in, friction fit and everything, so you're not going to have any problems with needing that screw. I have shot this thing plenty of times with no set screw in there, so I'm not putting it back. It's just a big pain in the butt. But you can see the case hardening on there. It's a really pretty one. I went with this because I knew that it could take more beating than the brass. Here's a 7.5-inch barrel. Got this right here, and then we can take a look, down the sight. It's actually the back. The rear of the hammer, and then you just kind of pull it, and it's done. I'm not knocking that back on that on those poor holes. I don't need it. I don't need that get beaten up. But yeah, that's my 1851 Navy. It isn't the wrong caliber. I understand that 36 caliber is the caliber for a Navy. I didn't want that anemic little shit, so I went with 44 cal. 45, basically 451, 454 round balls. I do use 454 round balls. I get that ring of lead. I know it's a little bit of a waste, but you pretty much guarantee you got that seal around the front, so you're not going to have a chain fire from the front. Chain fire from the rear is still a real thing, still possible, but I've always thought chain fire from the front's a little more probable than the rear. But yeah, that's the 1851 Navy. The safety on this guy, let's go over that real quick. You have as you can see, it's going to rest on one of the chambers. So you've actually got that's half cock. So in that position, actually that's quarter. So you can move the cylinder as much as you want. Half cock right here. It's going to have it set placed. That's not moving. You can't pull the trigger. This is pretty much how a lot of guys would carry it. Half cock ready to go, because you can go right into full and then drop that hammer down with the trigger. It doesn't have a really light trigger, so I have to be very careful when I'm playing with this guy. I did make sure all these guns were unloaded before I started the video. So, well, except for, of course, my everyday carry. That one is loaded still. But this guy, 1851 Navy, muzzle loader, and she takes the percussion caps. Number 11 or number 10. Number 10s are a little tighter. Well, let me try and get that so you guys can see. I'm going to put this down with both hands. I'm going to try and show you guys. Oh, there we go. Whoop. One of these days, I'll have enough money to buy something professional. I promise. Oh, of course. One of these days, I'll have the time and the inclination to start editing, so you guys don't have to see my big-ass forehead. But let's take a look here. There. I shouldn't fall. So you actually take this guy, and you carefully move it into position, and it locks right in there. There's just little teeny tiny pieces of metal that hold it on the inside of this hammer, right in between, so you can actually keep it in a safe position, and nothing's going to go back, nothing's going to go forward. You know, you just have significant, like, intention to pull that puppy back from there. But I'll show you what I'm looking at here. There's that little pin right down in there, and it gets stuck in that little teeny tiny indent right there. That actually causes a better firing when it drops on that. Now that wasn't a full drop. I'm not full on dropping that, because there's no need. That just beats up my my poor nipples on that, and I do not want to do that. But yeah, that's my 1851 Navy. Black powder caliber, black powder only 44 cal, so it takes the 451, 454 round balls, and specific conicals. You just gotta get them down in there. Preferably the 451s are a little easier to get down in there. That's the one I do use, and it's pretty fun. You know, it's fairly accurate, especially for a round ball. But I haven't really tried accuracy with the conicals. I only played with it a little bit in the range, so. But that's that. You know, the safety is pretty much, you got your quarter cock and you can spin her. It's pretty much how you load it. And you take your loading lever and you push it down into the cylinder that it's on. And then once you load it up, you can go into half cock. That ain't moving. That ain't moving unless it's intentional. And you pull that puppy back, and then you can let it fly. But you can also go, you know, oh, I'm loaded, you know. Alright, I'm going to go into full, and then I'm going to bring her down light. Not quite, you know, letting that pressure stay on there. Pull her back, right in between. That's the safest way. That's the way. If I was going to everyday carry, you know, EDC this guy, that's the way I'd want it. Because I don't want to be, you know, sitting there with a half cock, and then pull her back, and then accidentally, you know, pull it out and go, oh shit, and then you're lighting one off in your leg. That ain't fun. Oh, and this Kentucky rifle, by the way, not really the accurate size. I mean, I know Kentucky rifles probably were in 50 cal. You know, they were up to everything, but this is a 50 cal, so 490 round ball. And I do have conicals for them, Pennsylvania ball. And then we'll move up to the next one here. Let's pull her out. Let's take a look. Oh, you know what? I did lie. This one's loaded too, but I keep her in a safe spot on my dresser. You know, not really too loud. But this is the single action Army. I am not pulling the trigger back on this because it is loaded. Honestly, I could empty it out. Take a look. It does have the loading gate. It will actually go back all the way with that loading gate. And I did not want to do that, so I'm going to take her and be very careful. Empty it. Whoop. So what I'm going to do, put her on half cock and empty it right now into my hand. I will not show that, probably because YouTube will think I'm assembling a gun or something. I'm not even going to load it on camera. But here is the beautiful single action Army. She is empty. I'll let you guys see. You know, loading gate, and then nothing in the chambers. I'll do the spin. But yeah, you can accidentally shoot this one with the loading gate open, and there's no danger here because it does have the wobbly guy here, so it's just going to funnel right into there, not hurt anything. And it is a center fire, so I'm not worried about you know, dropping the hammer on this one. That's it. But we'll go over the safety on this guy. When you do load them, you know, a single action Army, because it is a single action, and that hammer is going to rest right there, and that's probably the safest place for it to be in, because you cannot accidentally pull that trigger at all. And this is, you know, you have to go back with intention to bring her all the way back through all 4 clicks to get into the loaded, you know, into the fully cocked position. That's the way I prefer to carry it, is with it resting on an empty chamber. So what you do when you want to load it is you go 1, you skip 1, and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you pull that back, close your loading gate, and you let it sit. Just in case you miscounted or you didn't do anything right, you let her go nice and slow, and you set her down. But that's it. And you can see that firing pin in there, right there. She is the wobbly one, so it's kind of, you know, it's only going to come in with intention. That's it. Is it still dangerous? Hell yeah, it's still dangerous. But, yeah, this is another Pieta, not a real single-action army. It's got everything, you know, all the features of a real single-action army. This one, you can't look down and aim it unless you have the hammer cocked all the way back. But that's it. That's single-action army. Safest way to do it. You can also carry it in the half-cock position. You're not going to pull that trigger. I mean, you can. It's not doing anything. It's going to go... Oh. Well, that's a safety issue. There's the quarter cock. That not moving. Well, look at that. Wow. Safety. I did shoot this with black powder, so it might be some rust and stuff on the inside. I have to look in there and see and clean it out. Let's not do that then. I'll keep doing it my way, the safest way. That's by the way, those guys who actually shot 44-40 out of these, you know, in black powder, that's probably how they got away with it. It's not actually fighting it and going, okay, I'm only going to load all 6 cylinders when I'm ready to shoot it. Because there ain't no way, when it's all the way down on an empty chamber, you're going to bust off a round at all. You have to pull back with intention and drop that hammer. So here's quarter cock. You know, it's just going to sit kind of in that lock position. And there is that way too. That's kind of safe, but I don't want to hedge my bets on it because as you saw, yeah, see, I pulled that trigger again and it dropped that freaking hammer. So something mechanical wise is slipping on mine, and I wouldn't really trust it in that regard. But I do trust it in that, you know, empty position like that, sitting on an empty chamber. I mean, how can you fire anything off unless you go with intention and actually rotate that cylinder and pull that hammer back on a loaded cylinder? There's no way. So basic safety on these guys. You see, you know, when I was doing all that, that's why you do these things when it's unloaded, so you know what your gun's like. That's why you practice all these things. You practice your trigger pull, all that, so you know, and then you go, okay, where's my reset? There is no reset on single action. Your reset is pulling that dang hammer back again and firing. So let's go to the next one. This one's not as safe as the other one, you know, in regards to that, because this is a double action. She is loaded. She's my everyday carry. I'm not sticking my hand in front of a loaded gun again. That's messed up. But this is a Rock Island M2. Oh, I wonder if it says it anywhere. Oh, Rock Island. Nope, that's the serial number. I shouldn't have shown anybody. Yep, made in the Philippines. Rock Island M209, 206. I can't remember. 206, model 206. There she is. 38 special only. Try and put a 357 Magnum in there, it's going to be out the top. But yeah, you can't shoot this double action. You can't shoot this single action. And you just pull the hammer back and let her fly. But this does that. Full on open loading. You know, put your full moon, half moon clip, whatever. Alright, you got a loading strip. You just bend that. It goes into its circle mode. You do that. But I love spinning that cylinder. Never spin that cylinder closed. That's the worst thing you can do to your poor mechanism. But yeah, basic safety on this guy. Don't pull the trigger. Don't pull this thing out unless you intend to shoot it. That's pretty much it. Double action, single action, you're going to be screwed. There's no half cock on this. There's no quarter cock. It's, you know, you're pulling that hammer back and you're pulling that trigger. And I ain't pulling that trigger. This double action pistol. But you can see how things get a little more hairy the further you go. Go back to our flintlock here. You know what I'm saying? This flintlock, the only thing you got going for it is right there. I'll put that out of the way. Right here. I mean, you can't, if that pan's not lit, you know, you can't fire off that touch hole and you can't get that out there. Can it go off with no powder in there? Yeah, the spark can go right into that touch hole, light off the whole thing in there. Can it go off without the flint? Probably not. Gonna go off without the frizzen? Hell no. You pretty much gotta be intentional with these guys. That's probably why they're still unbanned for now. They're not even on the chopping block. But I just wanted to show off some other things, guys, and I'm glad you stuck around through this whole video. I know she's more than 20 minutes long, but I just wanted to get a video out there before I move. You know, we're moving, we got a baby coming, and I just wanted to show off some more stuff. I mean, these aren't milsurp or anything. Well, hope you guys like, share, and subscribe. Please, if you find it in your heart, comment, because that's how I really get the views, when people start commenting. Sharing is nice, liking is nice, but I have noticed the videos that get the most views on are the ones that have some comments, 1 or 2. So have a great week, guys. I'll see you, when I see you. Bye.